Hey everybody, it's Friday, Yappy Hour, yay! Welcome to Wine Time. I'm Melanie, and this week I'm being joined again. Here are Bronny and Vinny, and Bronny is actually awake. Say hi. This is our seventh Wine Time, and we're really excited to be coming here again to you this Friday, just to tell you a little bit about who we are and what we do and why we do what we do. We're Nectar of the Dogs, and we are a wine company that was co-founded in 2015, inspired by the love of the dogs that we had in our lives, and they passed on to the Rainbow Bridge. So we wanted to create this company to kind of honor their memory and create really easy drinking, great tasting wine to be enjoyed by many, because for every bottle of wine that we sell, we give back to various dog rescue organizations. As I mentioned, this is our seventh one. Super excited about that. I just also wanted to say that there are 9 dogs on the label, and here you see 4. These are our dogs. This is Connie, Clyde, Floyd, and Mika. You can go to the website and check them out. Check us out, nectarofthedogswine.com, to learn a little bit more about who we are and what we do. To date, we've given over $7,000 to various dog rescue organizations, including All American Dachshund Rescue, who was here last week, Bark Party, Hollywood Huskies, Chiquita's Friends, SPCA LA, and Pet Orphans of Southern California, just to name a few. Here at Nectar of the Dogs Wine, we say it's not really drinking alone if your dog is with you. Case in point, my dogs are right here. But in light of the COVID-19 crisis, which we've been dealing with for weeks now, we can't be together, tasting rooms or even here on sets at Wine Time. So let's go over to Northridge and see what is going on with Monica, my director of PR. Hey, Monica, what's going on? Cheers.
Hey, cheers. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Super excited about today's episode. We've got some exciting stuff.
Yeah, we've the last 7 weeks, we've had various organizations on here, as I just mentioned, Bark Party, All American Dachshund Rescue last week, just to name a few. This week, we have Jessica Keleshian from Good Dog Trainer. What we've learned over these last few weeks is one good thing that's come out of COVID-19 is that the shelters are being cleared, which is just awesome.
So amazing, yeah.
But, that means that there's a lot of new dog owners, a lot of new fosters out there who may not really understand what it's like to own a dog. I've been a dog owner for, 20 years now or so, and you yourself are a new dog owner with McAdoo there.
Yeah,
so it's going to be really...
And we've had at least one session with, who we're going to be talking to in a little bit. She's great.
She is great. So I'm excited to talk to her. But let's talk a little bit about the wine that we're drinking this week.
Yes, the Three Dogs White. This is our white blend. So delicious. It's our blend of predominantly Viognier, Gewürztraminer, and just a little kiss of late harvest Muscat Canali. Really crisp, really good. Great to have by the pool while the weather's warming up. Highly recommend. It's one of my favorites. I love it.
It's one of my favorites too. We just bottled this actually last year. We're almost sold out of it, and I'm looking to get the 2019 edition of the Three Dogs White. We are running a special. Normally the bottle is $30, but if you do a case, we can do a 30% case discount. And so remember, the more we sell, the more we can give back. So click shop now to get yours today, or of course you can visit the website nectarofthedogswine.com. Now, when you go to the website, you'll learn a little bit about who we are and who we work with. I don't own a vineyard, but I work with boutique wineries in the Central Coast and the Central Valley of California. So the Three Dogs White specifically actually came from Lucas and Llewellyn. I work with them on multiple projects. So when I was talking to Megan last year, I said, hey, I want to do a white blend. We haven't done that yet. And, I sat with my friends, I think you included, and tried a bunch of different samples and came up with this wonderful, wonderful blend. So I'm really excited about this one. And there's Megan there. She's an excellent winemaker. I'm happy to be working with her. Now, in addition to Lucas and Llewellyn, there are some other wineries that I work with. These are small, small business owners.
Tell us more, Melanie.
I will tell you more, Monica. This is Mike and Debbie Giovinazzo. They own Sunland Vintage. They have a tasting room there in Thousand Oaks. Also at the tasting room are Lisa and John Shaw, who own Almost Soul Winery. And then Chris and Mike Brown are Conterra Cellars, and they're out in Oxnard. So I just wanted to thank them for, really their support and guidance, helping me along the Nectar of the Dogs wine journey, me and my friends. I really believe wine is best enjoyed with friends and family, just like you, Monica.
Thank you.
Cheers. So let's talk about who we have on the show today. As I mentioned, the last few weeks we've been talking to various dog rescue organizations. So that's not this week, but we want to talk with Jessica Keleshian. She runs Good Dog Trainer, and she's a dog trainer. So you can see here that she's been working with dogs and people who love them, such as you and I, for over 20 years. So let's talk to Jessica and see what she has got going on. Hey, Jessica.
Hey, Melanie, how are you?
Cheers. I'm good. Welcome to Wine Time.
Cheers. Thank you. Thanks for having me. Good to see you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I know that you and Monica have been friends for a really long time, and I'm going to say I've probably known you maybe like 10 years now. So why don't you tell us a little bit more about how you got started? Guide Dogs of America is actually one of our charity organizations as well. And it's a little different because it's not really a rescue organization per se, but there is a story that goes along with guide dogs, and we're going to have them on, I think in 2 weeks. We'll go into that a bit more, but tell us a little bit about, how you got started, who you are, and what you do.
Well, I actually started my dog training career at Guide Dogs of America many years ago. I became an instructor there. We had to go through a 3-year apprenticeship program to learn how to train the dogs and train the people. I was an instructor there for several years. Then I started my own business in 2003 when I decided I wanted to help pet families, people with their personal dogs. And that's what I've been doing ever since, which is great. So, yeah.
What I was mentioning was that, we're something really great that's come out of this COVID-19 is that these shelters are being cleared, which is wonderful. So that means there's a lot of new dog fosters, a lot of new dog owners. So can you share some tips? I don't want to say tips and tricks because I know it's more than that. But what would you say is the most important thing for a new dog owner to understand when they're bringing a new dog or puppy or senior into their home?
Well, there's certainly lots to think of. I think, and I've been getting a lot of calls too from people who've been adopting dogs, which is great. But I think first you want to have some realistic expectations. Make sure your house is set up and ready for a new puppy or a dog. Maybe puppy-proof your house a little bit. Pick up any loose objects, close doors to rooms you don't want your puppy to go into. I always tell people it's most important to figure out where you want your dog or puppy to relieve themselves, since that's always a big issue with people, the relieving. So decide, where do you want your dog or puppy to go, inside versus outside. Pick a spot that's going to be very consistent for them either way. And you want to start off from the very beginning, taking them to that same spot. So hopefully you can help them be successful and not have problems in the future with that. Because that's one of the biggest reasons why people often relinquish their dogs is often the relieving issues. So if we can get that under control, I think that's very helpful.
That's true. Like I said, I've been a dog owner for many years now. And my first dogs that I owned, Connie and Clyde, on the label, they were puppies when I got them, and I was 27 years old. I didn't know, I didn't have children. So I can imagine it's probably like teaching your child to be potty trained. You just have to have patience and repetition. Same kind of concept, I'm thinking.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's a lot of you kind of making it happen for them. Like I said, taking them to the same spot, giving them a word or phrase that you're going to use, praising them, treating them when they're going in that same spot. It's a lot of consistency and repetition, of course.
So tell me, you're actually, you live really close to me in Granada Hills. And you do the training at your house, in your backyard, right? Do you go to people's houses, or how does your program work?
Yeah. Prior to the whole COVID-19, crisis, I was doing majority private in-home training where I travel to people's homes and help them out individually with their dogs. That's usually what most people want, most people like, and we can get a lot accomplished that way, quickly and easily. I do also offer some group obedience classes, different levels of obedience. A lot of people like that too, to get their dogs around other dogs and people. I offer those in a couple different locations in the San Fernando Valley. But I also offer a walking class. A lot of people want help learning and teaching their dogs how to walk nicely on a leash, so that's really important too. If ever you're looking for a dog trainer, I often tell people, because I get a lot of calls from people who don't necessarily live in my area, you can always look up for a trainer on the Association of Professional dog trainer's website. They have a really great trainer locator where you just put in your zip code and boom, a bunch of trainers in your area come up, and you can look through them all, read their bios, and that can help you find a trainer, gosh, anywhere in the United States and I think Canada too. So that can be a great resource for people to look at. I think you just saw that slide there.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. I mean, I think training might be a little bit underrated. I know, people they may see a cute puppy or a cute dog and they're like, I got this. And then once the puppiness wears off and it's like, oh my gosh, what do I do here? So I think just having the resource of somebody like you or anybody on that, website there would be good. Now, can we go back to that other slide? Todd, I was just looking. Yeah. So what is this rule of 3 when adopting a dog? That seems really interesting and probably really informative there.
Yes, certainly. I think, the experts have kind of touted this for many years. Essentially, whenever you bring a new dog into your household, especially an older dog, if you're adopting a rescue dog, possibly, it's going to take a long time for them to adjust. I think the gist of this is take your time, think of it as the first 3 days. Your dog is probably a little stressed, going to need to decompress a little bit, especially if they've come from a shelter environment that can be very stressful. I know a lot of dogs these days are in foster homes, which is great. So maybe they have already decompressed a little bit, but they're still transitioning from one home to another, which can be very stressful. So those first three days, your dog may be a little shut down, acting a little strangely. But, don't give up. Give them some space. Give them some time. They may not even eat a whole lot those first 3 days. That's normal. Then, after about 3 weeks, your dog may start feeling a little bit more comfortable, maybe getting into some sort of a routine with you, building a little bit of a trusting relationship, hopefully. And then generally, ideally after 3 months is usually when that dog will hopefully be feeling very comfortable, be feeling like this is their home, you are their people, their person. And hopefully adjusted to your new home. Now, of course, this is just a rough estimate. Some dogs take longer. Some dogs might not take this long. But in other words, just give them time. Take your time.
That's good to know. It's really good to know. I mean, I love dogs. Dog
Me
lover,
too.
wine lover. That's me. But, you have to give them time. I mean, you imagine that you've been in this scary shelter or maybe, on the streets, and then you come into this wonderful, loving home and you're not used to it. And I think that's just really, really great words of wisdom and advice. So tell me, and what is this here? So you're currently offering phone consultations and Zoom and FaceTime in light of the COVID-19. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Right. Since we can't exactly be together, obviously my group classes are on hold for now. But I am offering phone consultations, Zoom calls, FaceTime training sessions, which have been going well. It's fun. It's different. But it's nice to kind of let people be in their home with their dog where their dog is most comfortable. And we're doing some training that way, which is great. So I'm certainly offering that if anybody's interested. And that way, too, we don't have to be that close. I actually did a Zoom call with someone who is, a couple hours away from me. So that worked out well. So it's kind of nice. Another way to connect while we can't be together.
Oh, we can't be together. Connecting, dog training, drinking wine, all good causes. I remember, well, like I said, my first two dogs, Connie and Clyde, many, many years ago. I did do a dog training, I think, through like Petco or PetSmart or something. But what I really learned is that it's not only training the dog, but it's training the dog owner, right? How to do this, because you're going to come in for a little while, for a few weeks or days or whatever the course may be. But then it's once you leave, it's really up to the owner to continue maintaining that training. Would you say that that's true?
Absolutely. I often get calls from people asking me to train their dog. I said, well, sure, I could train your dog, but they're really just going to learn to listen to me, not you.
Right.
So it's important working with them, and they're learning to do everything I can do. So then their dog will listen to them and respond, because I don't live with them. So that doesn't really help them much,
That's true. I guess a well-trained dog is really like a well-behaved child, right? And it really comes to the parenting. I mean, let's call it what it is.
Sure.
I was
the dog trainer before I was a parent. And believe me, there's a lot of parallels between dog training and parenting. So yes, absolutely.
I would agree with that. I have some nieces and nephews. My babies are 4-legged fur babies, but it's all the same. So Jessica, it's been really great having you on here and all these wonderful tips and tricks that you've given us and our audience about bringing a new dog into their home. Tell us, where can we get a hold of you?
Well, if anybody wants to get a hold of me, they can always call or text me. There's that number on the screen there. or you can always reach out through my website, gooddogtrainer.net. You can email me there, or check out my Facebook page for more current updates and photos and things. That's Good Dog Trainer on Facebook.
Wonderful. I think I was asking too. So you do dogs of all ages. It's not just necessarily puppies, but the gamut, senior, any age dogs, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Any age dogs, any breed. Yeah, you can certainly train dogs of any age. I know people say you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but that's not necessarily true. It just takes a little bit more training, more consistency sometimes to work through some ingrained habits. But yeah, absolutely. Any age, any breed, definitely.
Any age, any breed. Good to know. Good to know. There's a lot of new dog parents out there who I'm sure would benefit 100% from a training like yours. So I just wanted to let everybody know, not only do we have wine that benefits these organizations, but I wanted to point out our candles that we showed last week. These are kind of new. We have 2 different sizes. There's large right here, and this is 140 burn hours. The small one is 110 burn hours. These are 100% soy candles, very clean burning. There's different scents. They smell amazing, and I'm not just saying that, they absolutely do. So go to the website, check it out. We only ship wine in the states of California and Nevada, but the candles we could ship anywhere in the United States. So go check those out. Again, Jessica, thank you for joining us. I just wanted to let everybody know that in the month of May, we are going to be benefiting Live Love Animal Rescue, All American Dachshund Rescue, and Delaney's Dogs. If you've been joining us weekly, this is the 7th week, you know that we donate over the course of the month to various organizations. So for the month of April, we donated to Chiquita's Friends, Bark Party, SPCA LA, and Live Love at First Mutt. And then this month, as I just mentioned, will be these organizations here. So you can order now by clicking Shop Now, or you can go to the website, Nectar of the Dogs Wine, to see what is available. Not only the wine, but the candles. You can follow us on Instagram at Nectar of the Dogs Wine. And if you're an organization, or if you know somebody who has a charity organization and you're interested in joining us for Wine Time, just email me or Monica. There are email addresses right there. Pretty simple. Melanie or Monica at Nectar of the Dogs Wine. And we'd love to have you. I think we actually are booked up until the middle of June, which is really good. We're going to be featuring next week. We have Maureen Delaney from Delaney's Dogs. And then I think we're going to have guide dogs, and can't remember the other ones. But yeah, lots more interesting stuff to come. And then Vinny wanted to say hi. He woke up from his nap. Say hi. So Monica, we had some really great events planned. 2020 was starting off with a bang. The world went.
It was. And even the summer events that we had lined up are now being pushed into the fall. So it looks like fall's going to be really busy.
That's good. It's good.
Which is good. Yeah.
So what do we have in the meantime until we can all get together and drink wine in one place?
So in the meantime, you can book us for private virtual wine tasting. As Melanie mentioned earlier, we have 30% off case discount right now. There's a couple of different options here. One that includes red, one that doesn't. So go to the website, click on Shop Now, purchase your case, and then get in touch with us to set up a time for us to come and join you, walk you through all the wines in your case. It'll be a lot of fun. Your friends, your family, your neighbors, your fur babies, whoever you want to come on, either Zoom, Skype, FaceTime, whatever works for you, to talk about the wines. And it's a really nice, intimate time to learn all about us and taste our wonderful wines.
Fantastic. That is true. There are a lot of virtual wine tastings right now. Really, it's the only way we can kind of get together and hang out and drink wine.
But I think ours is probably the only one that gives back to dog rescues, too. So.
That's right. When you're drinking with us, you're drinking for a great cause. So I want to thank Jessica, again, from Good Dog Trainer, for stopping by and sharing her story with us. Monica, always lovely to see you week after week. Ladies, cheers. May dogs continue to bless your life. Everybody out there, have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe. Drink lots of wine. Buy lots of wine. Cheers.
Cheers.